Hello, people. Today I would like to make an apology. I want to apologize to all these men who has to suffer through Father's Day at church. Whenever all these churches go through the same old worn out sermon on Father's Day every year, preaching about how a man needs to do better. He needs to love his wife more. He needs to stand up and be the leader. While on Mother's Day, they don't teach that women need to be submitting to their husbands in all things just like they would Christ. They don't teach about how they're failing as a woman. They teach about how great women are. They will teach they will lift them up, which is all fine and dandy, because honestly, that's what Mother's Day should be. Just like on Father's Day at a church, the sermon should not be about men. You need to do better. You need to be better leaders. You need to love your wives more. No. They should be recognizing fathers, celebrating fathers for their sacrifices, just like they do mothers on Mother's Day. So I am here to apologize for that. And to all you fathers out there, I thank you. I appreciate you for all you have done, for the long hours you have pulled, only to come home and have to work on the house or work on the vehicle and not get any rest. For you fathers out there, I thank you for those who on Father's Day, they having to work, who cannot spend time with their families on Father's Day because their job doesn't let them, because they have to be at the hospital working, they have to be at the fire department working, they have to be repairing power lines and stuff on that day. I thank you and I appreciate you. For you fathers who are having to fight tooth and nail just to stay in your children's lives, I thank you. For those of you who have fought tooth and nail and have failed, I thank you and I appreciate you. Because you should not have to fight tooth and nail just to be in your children's lives. That should be a given. And I will say this, if you're going to a church that's like this, that on Father's Day all they do is belittle and put men down, get up and leave, because they do not appreciate you. Especially if on Mother's Day they're preaching and singing about women's, praising women, setting them up on a pedestal, which they should also be doing on Father's Day to fathers. That church does not need you. Because I have noticed something about a lot of these churches that do that they will throughout the year routinely tell men you need to do better and all this. But for some reason they refuse to teach women to submit. They will say, you don't have to submit, that is a choice, but you don't have to. But when it comes to fathers and husbands, they'll teach that you have to stand up, you have to be a leader, with no understanding of why a lot of men are this way. So I understand with a lot of it. I disagree with it, but I at least understand that. I know that if men stand up and try to take headship and leadership in their families, their wives will walk out, leave them, take their children, and half the stuff they own, because they are trying to do what the Bible says. Whenever I understand men being that fearful, but you should not be that way. You should be man enough to look at her and say, bye. That may seem harsh and stuff, but that's the way it is. And if you men refuse to take this kind of treatment at these churches, they will change. because they want your money.